Oh, I love those jungle drums because they inform us that we're about to start answering all of the tough questions that life has to offer. So you've come to the right place if you need answers. We have questions. Wait, what? Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, exactly. Yes! I am Louise Palanker here with a panel of wise and wonderful young persons. We've got, who have we got? Chenois, we've got Joe, we've got Katie Michael, but she's behind a camera. I can't really see her face, but I trust that she's there because she's fuzzy. And we've got Ben. And then we've got all kinds of other kids in the studio. We've got Jabbar, Jilly, Tara, Jennifer, Josh is here. So you can give us a call at 888-531-7171. Katie Michael, you were going to open the show. Can you sit so that... Is she on camera?
Yeah. Tara's on. Tara.
Oh, yeah. Tara. That's right.
I was just about to tell Tara to sit in the middle.
Yeah, Tara has... Do you guys both have good stories? But Tara, if you're looking at Tara's face right now and you're like, do I know her? Did we go to camp together? Was she in my cabin? No, she looks familiar because she's starring in a commercial for... What is the name of the product?
Verizon Hum.
Yes, I call it Stalk Your Child, but she calls it... So how does it work?
So it's this new technology that Verizon came out with. It's called Hum, and it's basically putting some smarts in your car. So you can know through the app, a parent can know, how fast is your child's speed. Because that's the basis of my commercial. There's another commercial explaining more family-oriented stuff, but my commercial is to know for parents to be able to see if their kid is going over the speed limit or kind of where they are. Yeah, it's kind of stalking your child, and the commercial's exaggerating just a bit on stuff, but it's just showing that it's more safer. Because honestly, my mom would have done it. I've been like, all right, okay, I'm not gonna speed. I'm not gonna be a bad kid. Speeding is bad. It's dangerous.
And there's also boundaries that you can put or beyond which your child is not supposed to go.
They can say where you can't, where you're not allowed to go. So your child can't drive 100 miles north of you and just run away from you forever. You can stop that from happening through the app. So that's good.
Yeah, you can set up sentries at the border to catch her before she gets all the way to Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I was saying is it feels like it's really kind of over, maybe helicoptering your child. But actually what's really happening is my philosophy, one of many that I have, and I will preach if you let me, so stop me, is that there's freedom within boundaries. So in other words, if you know where your child is and you feel safe that your child knows that you're kind of monitoring the sitch, then your child may actually obtain more freedom because your parents aren't in this abject fear the entire time that you're gone.
I mean, I know when I was in high school, my mom, she didn't she didn't let me go everywhere, but when I they found
my
the
God,
commercial.
Matt has the commercial. He is good.
Dude.
He is good.
That's the important part, not about the app. She's in a commercial. That's what we need to focus on.
Yeah, we need, yeah. It's it's really good. It's
the app
children,
is great,
parents,
but
relationships, privileges.
she's in a commercial.
Oh my God.
That's why she's here.
Hey, Tara, did you bring a clip?
Yes.
Would you like to set it up?
Skirt.
Yes.
Go ahead and set up your clip. What are we about to see?
We're about to see me in a commercial.
Yay!
Got this. Oh boy.
There was her.
But you've got Hum, so you can set this. And if she drives like this, you can tell her to drive more like this, because you'll get this. You can even set boundaries for her. So if she should be here, but instead goes here, here, or here, you'll know. So don't worry, Mom, because you put this in here. Hum by Verizon. The technology designed...
Yes, I did have to kiss that boy.
Oh my God, you got to kiss a boy. What I was hoping is that when you were running to the beach, it would be like that shock collar where the dog can't go past.
That would be really funny. No, it was, oh my God, guys, it was freezing cold that day. They had to keep warm blankets around us and bring us hot drinks and because they had to water us. First, I was actually supposed to be going into the water and I was like, no, it's California. I may do that on the East Coast, but it's California. But there was a big rainfall, and apparently legally you're not allowed to go within 72 hours after rainfall in the water. So they had to just let me run to the beach. I was so thankful. Thank you.
Show business behind the scenes, the true story.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
It was the best 3 days of filming of my life, I have to say. So far, at least.
Yes.
It was very fun.
Until you came and did this show.
Yes.
Remember when that happened?
Yeah.
So Ben, you had exciting news for us.
Yeah, I was filming just recently. I was filming a feature film with quite a well-known director that I can't wait for everyone to see. I was also filming one in the summer, so also by the same director, so I can't wait for everyone to see me.
And what is it?
This one is kind of a story which I'm kind of it's kind of I didn't get the script because I had a smaller role in this one, and I just kind of had like signed words improvised. But it's like this League of Legends, and it's like going to be like a more than one film. There's going to be another one over a different topic. And this one was all about like shadows and some sort of legend behind shadows and how they can come and haunt you. And I did quite a few of the classroom scenes, and we had like this party thing, but I actually have a story from set, so we had to run out because something was attacking us, and then someone jumped in front of me just as we were walking outside the door, and my foot got trapped and I ripped my shoe in half. But at least my scream was real. So, IMDb credit.
Yay! That's
awesome.
excellent.
Applause.
Anyone else have exciting news to report?
Well, I am in a stage play. Again, a stage play. And then the play is gonna be played in the theater, the Rosemead High School Theater, and the date is January 7th and 8th. And that's a stage play in Mandarin, and it's
Oh my
Wow.
gosh, I'm
Yeah.
not going to understand anything.
Yeah, true. But it's like they newly founded this theater community. It's called East West Performing Arts Alliance, and apparently it's the first Chinese spoken group in LA that like collected like all of the performers in that play is like professionally trained actors.
That's so exciting.
It's the first time
Nice.
in LA.
There needs to be like subtitles like right up on the stage for
No, that's like they say that in the future they want to make English productions in English and
Really
hire
exciting.
in local actors.
All right, so what I want you guys to think about moving forward is to come into the show with stories from real life if you're willing to talk about whatever kind of mini dramas you're experiencing.
I have a funny story.
Oh, you have one? Go.
I mean, if you want it.
I do.
So I have gotten migraines my whole life, which some of you know, and they suck and they're really not fun. And so I've tried all these different things. And I went into my doctor's office last Friday and I was like, we got to figure something out. And she said, well, there's, one kind of big thing that you haven't tried yet. And I'm like, what is it? And she's like, Botox. And I'm like, really? I'm like, I'm 18 years old. Like, you really think I should try Botox? And she was like, yeah. So literally I like did some research and I ended up literally getting Botox, but I thought that they did it just in the back of your neck for migraines. So then when I went in to get it, she literally was like, so yeah, we're going to do like the back of your neck and like your shoulder and whatever, but then like also your forehead. And I was like, my forehead? And she,
Needles like acupuncture.
oh, no. It's like a syringe of like,
Because aren't
yeah,
they putting like injecting you with solution of Botox?
of Botox. Yeah.
My mom has that because she has chronic back pain.
Really?
Yes, she had it done.
Oh my God. So I literally went in and they're putting Botox literally all over my forehead. And so I'm like, it occurs to me that I should kind of ask, like, are you going to be able to see that there's like Botox in my face? And she's like, I mean, you might not really be able to like move your forehead. And I'm like, what? Like, so like I went home to my roommates and I was like, you guys are not going to believe the day I had. I got Botox. I'm like, what? And they're like floored. And I'm like, I know. So I literally went and I'm like, we're hanging out, whatever. And they go, oh my God, Jill. And I'm like, what? And they go, you have dimples. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I'd never had dimples before. And they're like, you literally have dimples right now. I kid you not, my face is changing now. So I don't know what's happening. But
It's a new day in America.
It is. It's a journey. And
So
my forehead is frozen.
most Hollywood actresses
Yeah, no, literally,
in their
like, I can't move my-
60s
right.
simply suffer from migraines.
I mean, I don't.
I
Maybe
see
that's
what you
just
did
what's
there.
going on.
Good to know.
Good
Yeah.
one. Not
So yeah, that's what's happening.
So
in my
that's what
life.
happened to Meg
Is that,
Ryan. Mystery solved.
Botox in
mystery
their head.
solved.
Let's dive into questions. Who wants to read? Ben,
I'll
in your
read.
beautiful British accent, would you read the question from Jess R22?
Okay, Jess R22. There is a boy I really like at my school, and I told him, but he doesn't like me. He really, all in capitals, likes my best friend, but she doesn't like him. I told him I had a Christmas surprise for him, and it was to try not to like him. I told him to tell me how he felt about that, and he said he was a little relieved. Oh no. Those words made me feel so bad. It's like if your mom told you she didn't love you. What should I do? How should I feel? I'm sorry. I don't think
That's terrible.
particularly a
Yeah.
nice thing to happen to you, but at least you have a clear sign, a very clear sign that he doesn't like you. And I just think, like, if you care so much about a person, it shows you're a kind person. If you're a kind person, then someone will react to your kindness. And I think whether they're the most good-looking person in the world or someone that you don't find as attractive but has a kind personality, if your personality is strong, then you'll find someone who likes you for you.
But how do you feel about the way that she kind of confronted him?
I think you maybe should not have said the things that you said. Like, once you said that you liked him, and that he didn't feel the same way, and he likes your friend, but the friend didn't like you, I really think you put yourself onto that chopping block once you said, hey, my Christmas present is to not like you anymore, because then it's
Setting yourself
I
up
was
for
saying
failure.
I felt like you kind of just set yourself up.
You
for
really
that.
Yeah.
did, and I'm really
Sorry.
sorry that you did that. That happened to you. But
Burn.
once he said that, like, I didn't like you, it doesn't really matter if he likes your best friend or freaking Queen of Sheba. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't like you, so.
But it's interesting, what we kind of do to ourselves, because
Right.
that statement that she said to him is like several layers of messed up.
Yeah. And Tara took it
Because so you have to kind of like peel it back and say, what was she hoping, Tara?
Well, she
what-
wanted to get attention. That's
was she
wanted to
hoping he
get
would say,
attention.
"Oh, I don't want that for Christmas"? In fact, I don't even celebrate Christmas. We're Jewish. Like, what was she?
Happy Hanukkah.
She wanted him to notice her. That's what she was trying to do. She wanted
But
him
it's
to
also
notice
like
her.
trolling for sympathy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
No, that was definitely
so
that's
what?
exactly what she's
a
doing.
difficult situation.
It's a difficult situation, but like, don't set yourself up for that. Like, there's other ways for you to get closure, because I guess you already kind of knew
That he
that
didn't
he
like
was
you.
that his response would stab you in the heart. So
Yeah.
what else? How else could she have handled it before she had said that to him, Ben?
I
Try
think,
not to like him.
I think maybe the fact that he's already told you that he doesn't like you means that there's no point going on, and because the main reason why some people ask them if they like them if they're not already really like close to a relationship is to end something so you can move on to someone else. But I do think you made a mistake by carrying on, because you've been told in a way to stop, and to carry on is just a way to upset yourself more, and I don't think that's necessary, especially before the holiday time. Sorry.
Definitely.
One of the hardest things about being a kid is actually getting over someone who still goes to school with you.
It's so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Because
you see
you see them
that.
every
See that
Yeah.
person all the time.
So who has some good advice on this?
Try to find a hobby that's
Whittling.
that's good for you.
And
You know
not
what I mean?
Instagram stalking.
Right.
Be a
No,
part of
like
something that
maybe
you're
go to
passionate about.
other people's schools' football games, and for sure you'll find a hot or even hotter boy there, and strike up a conversation with there. And if it ends badly, like, hey, you don't go to school there, so I mean,
Wow.
What do you have to lose?
You're good at this game.
I'm saying.
A bit too good.
Dude, I mean, I was a cheerleader in high school, so I was able to go to all these different people's schools, and I was able to see all these other options that I had out there, and so I'm saying, do that.
That's
I mean, if you
eye-opening.
have, because obviously you're in high school, so you have to think about boys. It's just what you do, and no matter what we say, you're going to be thinking about a boy. So might as well just think about a different boy.
All right.
See what happens.
I'm going to have Katie, Michael, I'm going to have you read the next question, and then I'm going to get Jabbar situated over there because he's got a story for this one.
Okay. I'm a freshman in college. I live 20 minutes away from my home, and I stay in a dorm. My roommate and suitemates don't like me.
Sweet mates.
Sweet mates.
They don't share the same suit. And it's 'cause I'm not advising that.
Okay, my roommate and sweet mates don't like me because I keep to myself and don't talk much. I have had issues with my roommate, and so everyone else has stopped talking to me. I shouldn't have to live in a type of environment with people acting like they're 10 years old. That's correct. I keep telling myself to just suck it up and stay in the dorm because I know if I leave, it's like they won. Yeah, and got what they wanted. But 90% of me just wants to cancel my housing for the spring semester and move back home. I know that I'm going to be miserable in this type of environment, and it's going to affect my schoolwork. What should I do? Question mark.
I have a story for this because I went to a college, AMDA, and I had the same type of situation where I had 3 roommates. They all knew each other from the same town, and I was just put right in the middle of that. So I was left out kind of, but they smoked, they drank, and I don't do all of that. And they were very, very dirty. And I came from a household where everything is clean, and I clean up all the time. So I put up with it for more than a semester. And then I just had to put my pride aside because I felt the same way, like they're going to win. I need to just stick this out. And we were cool. We were like friends. We wasn't just like, Jabbar and then them. But I had to move out because I couldn't take that anymore. So I just say put your pride aside and do what makes you happy. Yeah.
Plus, they're not really winning if you move out. You're kind of being like a bigger person and like moving on from a situation that's not good. You're saying, well, like, okay, you guys don't like me, like I'm gonna leave, and that's not really them winning. That's just kind of you being a bigger person, I guess.
Why?
I just like I think that you were saying that you want to cancel your housing and move back home. Don't cancel your housing. If you want to go to the school, find another place to live if you really can't stand them, but don't let it affect your schoolwork. If you're saying you know it's going to affect, find something to make it not affect. Do good in school, and then like if that means staying at the library more often or doing something else rather than being at home with these people, then that's a good solution. But don't let it affect going to school because that's money, that's education, that's what you need to do. So if you know it's going to affect you, find a way to make it work if you want to stay there, or if you want to move to somewhere else and get a dorm and then get a part-time job and pay for that, you could do that too. There's tons of options, but don't let it affect your schoolwork. That's like my number one thing. If you're going to college, get a good education. Don't let it interrupt.
Well, I think before you make a decision, you might need to sit down and see if there's any misunderstanding. Because you said that you think your roommates and your suite mates don't like you because you keep to yourself and don't talk much. The thing is, maybe it's not like they don't like you. Maybe they feel that you don't want to talk to them. Maybe if they feel like you don't like them, maybe they feel like they don't know how to connect with you. And if you, I know that you sounds like a very shy person, but maybe sit down with them and talk about the issue. Hey, what's up?
Well, I mean, the way I see it is I'm a very introverted person myself, yet I think of this situation as a good thing. I mean, he said, or he or she, whoever it was.
We don't know.
They said that they liked being by themselves and they liked staying to themselves. So if they didn't want to talk to them, that's fine. They just have to live with each other. I would personally just stay to myself in my house, even if I have no family. I'm just chill being in my room and then seeing them sometimes while I'm walking through the dorm. You don't have to interact with them. All you have to do is just live with them and deal with it.
I think a solution is this. Obviously, you can't stay in that environment if you don't want to. Don't, like Jabbar said, don't let your pride get in the way. So what you can do is go home and then, keep doing your schoolwork and try again next year and get a new roommate with new suite mates, not suite mates, but suite mates. And there's your solution, not letting it get in the way. But I think the solution to that is moving out and then trying again next year with another group of people.
And I do think that this is a situation in life, not just in college, in school or wherever. There are going to be people that don't like you, people that are totally in contrast to you. And even in high school, you meet all different types of people. And in college, you're meeting a whole new type of people who can even be from further than just a high school, than 4 separate schools. I think this is something that maybe you do need to either stand up for yourself or kind of let it pass. Maybe do something outside of the house or outside of the dorm, so you don't have to be with them for such a long time. Join a club, go to extra classes, because you seem like you really care about your studies. So maybe pick up an extra class, find something to give you extra work, rather than just be sat there listening to them torment you, because that's really not healthy for you and it's not good for your studies. Because if something isn't gonna unmotivate you, that's people saying mean things.
Josh.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I almost think there's more to the situation that we haven't been told.
I can't hear you.
Hello?
Wiggle that a little bit.
Hello?
There you go.
Hey, everybody. So I almost think there's more to the situation that we haven't really been told, because, I mean, other than the roommates aren't being mean. It hasn't said they're being mean. They just said that they don't want to talk to her. It's issues. issues with a roommate, and then other than that, it's just, I mean, how do you expect them to like you if you keep to yourself anyway? Like, to get to know someone, you have to really be involved with that person, and if you're keeping to yourself, I mean, it's not an issue keeping to yourself, but you also can't expect them to like you.
This is a learning experience, because you are going to have people that you don't get along with in your life, like work, and that's a huge thing. You have to, if you don't like to talk to people, that's fine. But this is a very big learning experience for you to kind of get to know how other people do things in their lives and get to know how you guys can mold together and be like a little of a unit. This could be a challenge for you to try to, if they don't like you because you don't talk, which is a weird thing to not like somebody about. That's just like not liking somebody because they have brown hair. You know what I mean? That's weird. But definitely, if that's the reason, kind of just, talk to them and see what you can do to mold together. You guys don't have to change each other, but this is definitely a learning experience.
Yeah, and even if you don't want to mold to each other, I mean, at the end of the day, too, I think you're also setting yourself up a little bit because you said you're going to be miserable in this type of environment. And when you say things, your world becomes that around you. So a lot of times, like, if I'm going to be miserable, how could you be anything but miserable? Mm-hmm. So you're going to I would really just suggest sticking it out. Like, this is your schooling. Just because you're living with somebody who doesn't want to necessarily talk to you, I mean, you could do what Shanwa said, try talking to them and really see, is there anything you've contributed to the relationship that doesn't necessarily make them want to be friends with you, as well as, and if that isn't the case, then just not necessarily suck it up, but this is your schooling and this is your life, and don't let somebody else take that away from you. Because you'd be the only one taking it away from yourself at the end of the day, really.
And I do think I'm someone with a big personality, and at school, I'm just in high school and finding new people. I do go with people with bigger personalities, and I do think, that person never ever speaks, and it does kind of put you into a category. I'm being honest with you, as someone who doesn't really socialize and stuff, but there's nothing wrong with being in a category of quiet people. Just because I'm not friends with you doesn't mean that I don't like you. I think that's something, because especially if they're not talking to you, then you don't know what their opinion is of you. And obviously, to make memories, to be close to friends, you have to do things with each other, speak, maybe just simple things. Since you like to be studious, what did you get on the test? How are you learning? Do you have any tips for me to studying? I think it's more finding something that since you feel like you have nothing in common, something that is so obvious that can maybe start at least a small living place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I live with roommates, and it's definitely a whole different kind of dynamic. I think that you don't have to be friends with your roommates at all. Like, that can just be somewhere that you sleep, and you can just go about your day and have other friends in other places. But I think that if it becomes like a bad environment and you don't feel comfortable there, then, like, if you're in housing, you should be able to apply for reassignment, which I knew a lot of people who did, because they either just didn't get along with their roommate, or they just had different schedules, and was like up all night and wanted to sleep, and like it just didn't work. And so but communication is key, especially with a roommate. If you guys all need to respect each other, and so if that's not happening, then that's a bigger issue. But if you guys are being respectful and you're able to kind of coexist, there's not a huge issue with not being friends.
Well, I kind of look at the language, and I see language in here that might indicate to me that she may be the problem. And so this person isn't describing a situation the way Jabbar described. In other words, there's no specifics other than I'm not getting along with my exact roommate, and so my suite mates are. She may be kind of walling herself off and having a very unapproachable look on her face 24/7, and so she may be really stubborn in this moment of like, well, nobody likes me. And so you kind of have to break that pattern and start with the roommate that you initially had the problem with, and just say, can we talk? Because I'm wondering if there's a way for us to get along better. The reason I'm saying don't just kind of bail and go home is because the way that you phrased, I don't want them to win, that's not how problems are solved. Problems are solved not when somebody wins, but when everybody wins, because life is not a competition. More often than not, it's a collaboration. And, you have to get that. And you have to also realize that 18-year-olds who go to a dorm, they do not know how to get along with anybody. They probably aren't currently getting along with their parents, because that usually happens as you ramp up to leaving. You got to get into a fight with your parents so that you're okay separating. So they're not the best with people skills to begin with. And that's why you have advisors and counselors and people you can go to where you say, like, and maybe you need a third party to sit and say, all right, what's going on with you guys? Because I think this is fixable. If you just bail and go home, then you won't find that awesome person that you want to make plans to room with next year. And this is all part of growing up. And so not everybody can afford to live on campus. A lot of people have to commute for financial reasons. So if you can afford to live on campus, I would say keep working to make it work out, and that it's not about letting anybody win. It's about if you get along with people, you all get to win. And though the best things happen when the most people, that's why we have the term win-win situation, because those are the best. And so let's move on to the next question. And would you like to read, Joe?
Sure. Okay, so this comes from a user that's anonymous. What do I do if a girl says she doesn't like me but then acts like she does? When I ask her why she doesn't like me, her answers sound like lies. I'm getting tired of waiting and trying to figure her out, and I need advice on whether I should move on or keep trying.
Girls.
Dude, move on. Duh. Like, this girl is being, such a player. Like, what are you? No, she is the girl that needs attention. She doesn't care where it comes from or who it comes from. If you stop trying to get her, she's going to come right back around and try to get you. She's going to do that with literally everybody. Move on. You don't need her. She's stupid. We don't like her.
So we all know this girl, correct?
Yes. Ew.
Wait,
God.
I mean, I would say, like, definitely just take her for what she says rather than trying to figure out everything she means, because you're gonna go crazy. Like, if she says hi, you're gonna be like, oh, what does she mean? She said hi. Does she loves me? Obviously she loves me because she said hi. Like, no, just she said hi. She said she didn't like you, so move the hell on. Like,
yeah, hopefully you're not taking just a simple hi. Maybe she's just being nice.
Yeah,
and you're taking it to, ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we need to know what you mean by she acts like she likes you, because one thing, getting closer to you, speaking to you, saying things to you, specific things that show that she likes you. But if she's just saying hi, maybe giving you like a hug on the hallway, that doesn't mean she likes you. I think we need a definition of what she's doing, because how do you know if she's lying? Are you an expert? If you hooked her up to a lie testing machine, I think you need to. We need
on
to
the next
understand.
Dr. Phil, does she really like him?
Guys just need to realize that girls can be friends with guys and that's it. They don't have to like them. They can just deal with them and be friends, and nothing of it. Nothing else can escalate. They're just going to be living all together and harmony.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't know if it's the girl's fault because she is a attention whore, or if it's his fault
just
because
super flirty.
He's like, yeah, desperate and thinking that everything she does, maybe she's just like a nice person, and you're just taking it too far.
I have this friend who always would be that girl at parties. It would be like some guy would be like, "Yeah, can I get your number?" And I'm watching her give him the number, knowing that she, like, why are you giving him any hope? Oh, because I don't know. It's just like they're thirsty. They're always thirsty for
it's like attention.
Yeah.
It's like that flirty dynamic.
Yeah.
It's like some girls and guys, like they like that kind of communication and that kind of like dynamic, and they thrive on that. But it
Yeah.
messes with
So
people's
annoying.
heads. so
like
you have
that
to
makes
be
them feel
careful.
valid to know that someone wanted their number.
well, I think it could also be a situation like kind of a mix of both, where the girl's like knows the guy likes her, was just being nice, and so the guy just like doesn't get the hint. Because like I know several of my friends who like deliberately know that the guys in their life like them, but they don't get rid of them because they don't want to hurt their feelings. And it's like, actually, it's probably causing them more damage if you're not going to get rid of them.
I think
'cause
it
they're
goes
just like-
beyond I think it goes beyond not wanting to hurt their feelings. Honestly, I feel like there's almost like a collection of admirers that makes them feel like they're desired. And I don't know. I think that's kind of cruel.
Well-
Because and then I would know all of the guys in this person's life, and they would come to me and tell me, "Oh, I think she really does like me," when I knew that she had said otherwise to me. And so it puts the friend in a difficult position when you've got a female friend who that's just her energy. Like, she has a very flirty energy, and it's just it's a part of like how they walk through the world. But it does devastate people. That's why, like Joe just was like, "Yeah, you need to move on."
Well, I think before we make any kind of assumptions about the girl, there could be 1,000 truths behind it.
We don't
But
know. Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
she doesn't like him at all. Maybe she likes to flirt with him. Maybe she likes him, but she also likes the other guy, and she couldn't decide. And there could be a lot of reasons to your why, but the thing is, you are now so obsessed with the why. I feel like when we get a rejection, like when we ask somebody like, I like you, do you like me? And the person says, no, I don't like you, I'm not interested in that way. And we always tend to sit there and just think about why.
Or what?
And
Or
like,
let me see if I can get out my translation machine and see what you really meant. No, you need to hear what she just said to you.
yeah, it's just the words are simply words. Maybe maybe she does like you, maybe she does, but she said she doesn't.
It's like Google. If a girl says, because the reality of the situation is, it's Saturday night is coming. Are you going to be with her? And if the answer is no, then you're not dating her. And
her decision is that she made a decision. And
the
you
Magic
should
8 Ball
accept the
says
answer.
outlook looks bad. You don't have plans with her. You guys are not engaged. This is not moving forward. I mean, hope is like this beautiful thing, but if you let it like stretch out for too long, it keeps your attention diverted away from the person who really does want to go out with you this Saturday night. And so it's painful, but sometimes you just have to listen to the actual words, not say she's lying.
Well, I also want to think, like, because this question kind of reminds me of the first questions as well, like about, oh, this guy doesn't like me, he really likes my friend. And I feel like a lot of times the reason why we kind of obsess over somebody who doesn't like us back is because that it's kind of like it kind of make you feel like you're not good enough, or like kind of doubt yourself as who you are. But then I really want to say is that you're awesome just being yourself. You don't have to win that person
Go
over.
to football games at other schools. There's more girls.
I'm saying.
Yes.
Can I just say, so you don't get upset, like, I was that kind of girl. I wasn't an attention whore, but I was a very flirty person. And so I do recall, like, a guy would come up and, like, he told me that he liked me and I just didn't like him. It's not that I acted very flirtatious back to him and that I'm lying to him. It's, number one, I just didn't want to give you a reason just to say, like, well, I don't like you, you're ugly, your personality sucks, like something like that. Like, I didn't want to say something like that. I just don't like you, but I like you as a friend and I'm going to be very nice because that's my personality, but I'm not trying to be an attention whore. So that girl could possibly be that. So I don't want to, like, I mean, she might be one, she might not, but I'm just saying, me as a person, that's how I was. And so maybe that could be another reason. She's either an attention whore or she just has a really good personality and she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. But that's one of the two that I think it could be. And Josh.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, like, what I've realized recently in life is just like, there's kind of like two things that people do. Usually, like, somebody says something and then you make it mean something. And life is actually pretty simple. And there's that saying, like, life is simple, we complicate it. That is so true. Like, things happen and you're the one who makes it mean something. So she said no, and then you're making it mean that she actually means yes. Like, no, she said no.
Yeah, she
like,
said no.
And I no. So
and you know, whatever I said,
what she
like,
acts like.
let's not throw the girl under the bus. She could
Yeah.
simply just
Yeah.
be.
I mean, I was like
exactly
that in high
Girls
school
with
too,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
like
Girls.
a ring of girls
Yeah.
around me, but it was interesting. So Ben,
And from a guy who is kind of really clueless, speak to girls that I kind of like, and I'm saying I speak to these friends, I'm like, she doesn't like me, and they're like, what do you mean? You didn't read the signs. She does like you. I think I'm really clueless, and I'm an innocent child, and
Okay.
I keep to, my biggest thing in life is crushes, nothing more that I'm doing right now, because, and I also think, if she doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. There's always another girl. Might even be another girl who looks like her, just like in my school. But I think you need to kind of pinpoint what it is that's making you want to speak to us so long and so obsessive. I just think you need to make sure you are okay. Maybe you need to move on and not have a crush on anyone for a while. Whatever makes you happy.
True.
All right, let's hold that thought for a moment. We're going to swap out a couple of young people so we can get more kids into the show.
yeah, if Shanwa and Jabbar and then Jennifer and Shamari, and then
Everyone else can stay because she's already in. You guys are all in the show.
I mean,
And if you're coming out to the sidelines and you still have something you want to say, just put your hand up and you'll jump over to that mic. All right, let's keep talking so we don't have to make too many edits in the show.
You all heard my snort earlier.
I like your
Me.
snort.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, remember
That
the
was a
days
good
of
break.
Olivia? Who was here for Olivia? Olivia had the best snort. So I'm going to read the next question while we're. Oh, it's. I'll read a long question so that we have a lot to talk about. So I'm 16, and the other night I went to a festival with friends. I don't actually smoke, but I sometimes smoke if I go out. I was smoking with a group of my friends, and I hear someone from close behind me go, "Oh, hi." I turn around, and it's my singing teacher.
That sucks.
She didn't really say anything then, but I'm so worried that she will when I see her in a few days. She's kind of friends with my mom, and I'm so scared that she'll say something. Mom, yeah, so we know they're English or Australian.
Hi.
Yes.
And I'm so scared that she'll say something to her. What would you suggest I do to make her think better of me and stop her from telling my mom? And this is my favorite thing, is when people tell me how to answer or not answer the question. So ignore this next sentence. And please don't say I shouldn't smoke or whatever. Thanks.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if we tell you to not smoke or not, because you already did it and you already got caught doing it. So that honestly really
Don't
doesn't
smoke
matter.
or whatever. Thanks.
But you need to go up to your teacher and tell her what you think happened. And, work it out. She's probably going to tell you, smoking's not really good for you, da-da-da-da-da. And if you obviously still want to smoke, which is not good for you, but if you still want to do that, I would say, hear the teacher out, really know that she heard you, and hopefully that will make the teacher think that she did her job, and so that she doesn't tell your mom. I don't want to tell you to lie to her, but if you're going to smoke anyways, that's what's going to happen. But you definitely need to talk to the teacher, hear her out, what she's going to say, because she's going to tell you not to do that. And then if she thinks that you understand, then she might not tell your mom. But there's nothing sneaky that we can tell you to do that is not going to get your mom to told.
And I think if you're going to smoke and you've made the decision to smoke, you're going to have to deal with the repercussions.
True that, dude. Your lungs are going to look like black things.
And not just your lungs, you're going to have to deal with your mom's
teeth.
mom's viewpoint on this, because if your mom finds out, then she has found out and there's nothing you can do about it. If your singing teachers maybe has already gone and told emails, since they are friends, they might have already told them. And I think whatever happens is going to happen, because the singing teacher has seen you and she is friends with your mom. There's no point putting it to the side and thinking maybe she isn't. I think you need to kind of prepare for the worst. And I do think you do need to apologize to your mom for smoking, because I don't know how old she is, but if you're over 18, then it's your own choice. But I still think you should understand that we see all these adverts on TV, lungs deteriorating, we see on smoking packets, smoking kills. I think you have to understand maybe that's a choice you've wanted to make, but maybe it's not a choice that's best for you. And maybe your parents, when they were younger, they went through a phase of smoking, and now in their life have a cough all the time or have a certain genetic condition due to smoking. And I think maybe you need to hear someone else out, rather than just thinking you know best.
I will say, though, that number one, you are 16, so you're underage. So no matter if you drink or you smoke or whatever you do, if you get caught, you get caught, and they're not going to like it because it's underage. You're not supposed to do that unless, everyone you know and your parents and everyone's okay with it, because I know some parents who do let their children drink underage and stuff like that, and they're okay with it as long as it's in their house and all that stuff. But as a 16-year-old, you should know if you get caught, you get caught. You're going to get the repercussions. But also, are we talking about tobacco or weed? Tobacco is a thing. If that's what it is, that is really bad. What they're saying is the coughing, all that stuff. Weed, it is bad too, but it is getting more legalized, but it doesn't take that many repercussions. So it's not
it will still be
weed
illegal,
but
under,
it's still
under
illegal. And if your parents aren't approved of it, yes, weed isn't bad for you, but if your parents don't approve
weed
for it,
will still be illegal for people that are
you
under
might
18.
as well just come. I think your parents are going to respect you more if you just go up to them and be like, hey, I was smoking at this party. My singing teacher saw me. She's probably going to tell you, just want to let you know, I'm sorry, that's what's happening. Let's talk about it. I think blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
They'll respect you for that if you just come out
I
and say
think
it.
the preemptive strike is the way to go, because the way this letter is posed, it's just hey, this thing exists. How do I make it unexist?
Yeah.
Right.
Tell him, since he's having a singing teacher, smoking, whether weed or tobacco, is bad for singing.
Yeah,
Bad for singing.
that's the best teacher to have caught
Well,
you,
maybe
because
she's not that into
if
singing.
it's it's bad for your singing voice. And
yeah, I completely agree. The preemptive strike, that's a good idea. And I also think that you're saying you don't want to get caught and you don't want to have to deal with the actions, but you're doing an adult activity and it comes with adult repercussions.
And you just
So
get
you're
caught.
gonna, if you get caught, like you're gonna have to deal with it. And you were being an adult, so you're gonna be dealt with like an adult. So I mean, that's the simplest advice. That
And I
could give
think,
you.
although we are a show that really tells people the right thing to do and what happens, I think we shouldn't be clueless and understand that this just happened. I go to a freshman party where everyone is 14 and 15 maximum. Weed and alcohol still happens, and I think you have to be the one to make the choice whether you want to do it or not. And if you do it, you have to understand that you have done that. There's no going back. And if you have done it once or twice, you say, oh, I tried it once or twice in my life. Yes, when someone tells me who's like 18 they've done weed once or twice in life, okay, I'm not. No one's going to think badly of you, but I just think you need to understand that once you're over age and it's legal for you, I think it's really hard. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I'm just saying it does happen, and it's way too widely available for people even my age.
Yeah, it's like when you're doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing, and then someone sees you doing it. Well, that just happened. Those were the chances that you took when you decided to smoke a cigarette. And even though you told me not to say this, tobacco is one of the hardest things to quit. The cigarette manufacturers and big tobacco companies put stuff in there that's highly addictive. You'd be better off almost doing anything. People say that heroin is easier. We've all seen movies of people trying to quit heroin, and that is not pleasant. Okay, there's a lot of drooling. And Jabbar.
Oh, I didn't have anything.
Oh, you
to
don't
say.
have anything?
Yeah.
Well, I just think, accountability is like, if that's the best thing you can learn between the ages of 0 and 18. If you learn accountability, like, oh, I did this, now I have to take responsibility for what I did. So nobody can make this go away. Like, we can't go back in time and make this unhappen. And so if she's friends with your mom, she's going to tell your mom.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, I will say that's 99% going to happen, because your mom wants to do the best she can to raise you into a person who's not addicted to big tobacco. Jennifer, nothing?
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
I have a story to share.
Okay.
I was at a party a few weeks ago, and someone came up to me and they go, how much for a pound? And I'm like, what do you mean a pound? They go, a pound of weed, what are you talking about? I know you sell it. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I know you sell it.
I go,
how do you know?
I'm sorry, I don't have anything on me tonight. And then I go back, he goes to his friends and he goes, that boy doesn't think I'm cool enough to sell me weed. Ugh.
Wow.
And I'm sorry
Maybe
for
that's a little bit of a compliment.
I have long hair and sometimes I have bags under my eyes. I'm not a drug dealer. And that just shows you how widely available this is, and how
that any random person that you approach could sell
they
you.
just literally came up to me and said, how much for a pound? Like, out of nowhere, someone my age. And I was just astonished because I was literally there talking to my friend. How did this happen? It was just crazy.
All right, so kids, just watch yourselves. Singing teachers are everywhere. I really want to hold my girlfriend's hand, but I'm scared she won't let me. What do I do? P.S. I am a girl. All right, so it's two girls. We don't know their ages.
I know.
So
how old are you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if
so
you're
it's
girlfriends, the answer is yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
is that like too harsh of me to say? Because I mean, like, first of all, how old are you?
No, yeah, but here's the thing,
even
Katie,
if
Michael.
you're-
If they're 14, then they may not want to hold hands in front of other people yet. If people don't, if everybody doesn't know they're gay or whatever, because there's a whole coming out thing that. No.
I don't know. It's just like it's just hands.
Well, can I just say, because it says, I really want to hold my girlfriend's hand, but I'm scared she won't let me. First of all, if you're saying she's your girlfriend, like your actual girlfriend, I don't see why you can't hold your
You
girlfriend's
won.
hand. Now, if you're saying it's like,
did.
oh, my girlfriend Jilly, well, I want to hold her hand, but I'm scared. Well, it's like, but she's your girlfriend, not your girlfriend. But if we're talking about girlfriend, which I think we're talking about girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, that kind of
Romantic relationship.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, that's a lot better.
Got
Than my
it.
girlfriend and girlfriend. Yeah, I just like honestly, if she's your actual romantic relationship girlfriend, hold her hand. Maybe you're in your beginning stages, but if you're saying you're girlfriend and girlfriend, hold her hand. I don't think why not. Maybe she wants you to. I'm pretty sure she does. I wouldn't want my boyfriend to hold my hand if we're like a relationship. So
And the thing is, if you're dating, let's say, for example, we were dating and I go for my hand and she doesn't take my hand. Literally, all that happens is she didn't take my hand. We haven't broke up. We haven't stopped speaking to each other. She didn't take
Not
my
ready for
hand.
that commitment yet. You know, taking
You know-
things really slow.
Although maybe also someone might laugh, oh, you can't hold someone's hand. maybe that's something, maybe you've come out and this is such a big deal for you to be with a girl for the first time, hold a girl's hand for the first time. Maybe I think you need to roll with it, and since you're already dating, I don't know how serious it is or if this really means a lot to both you and the other person, but if you want to hold their hand, just go for it. The worst that can happen is they say, no, I'm not ready for that, because maybe they're not ready either. I think it's a mix of both emotions and a mix of new experiences and really just going for it.
Then you know.
Jabbar.
And before that even happens, it's like the rejection part. I would not want to be rejected in public of like trying to hold my girlfriend's hand. When I wanted to hold my girlfriend's hand, I asked her, I was like, should we go to school holding each other's hand? And it was a simple conversation, yes or no.
Aww.
So before, I would not
They're
want
so
to be
cute.
rejected. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be rejected in public and feel some type of way and not talk about it ever. I just go forward with
I
it.
have a really
Movie
good
theater is the best
initial,
place.
This
wanna
is
try
my
it
really
out.
good initial hand-holding tip. All right, so this is for the first handhold. What you do is you kind of run ahead of her and you go, oh, I want to show you something. And you run ahead and then you reach your hand out back for her to run. And then you grab her hand, like to pull her and show her something. And
that's
then
so
go,
sweet.
like, nothing really. I just wanted to hold your hand. Right?
That's a good one.
Smooth.
Dark movie theater.
Huh? No?
Just get really close. Just get really close. Just get really close. And then the holding of the hands will happen in the movie theater, probably like
And then-
30 to an hour in.
And then get queued up on your...
Watch
on
a
your,
scary movie.
Get queued up on...
Yes!
No.
Scary movie.
No,
Oh,
I have
hold
scars
me.
from scary movies and holding hands. So no,
Oh.
no scary movies.
Have you been clawed at the scary movies?
See, I hate scary movies.
No,
I
but
would
you put
never.
on the Beatles, like, I want to hold your hand. Like, oh, that's a really good idea.
We should hold hands.
Thank you, Paul McCartney.
Thanks, dude.
Maybe just find a meme, it's 2016.
I do think we might not have pointed out, though, what Tara was saying about if they're actually romantically girlfriend, or if
Yeah.
they're just friend, girlfriend.
Right, we
Then
don't know.
you just need to ask her, hey, I like you in this way type of thing. So that's it. Yeah.
Jabbar, would you like to read the next question?
I wish I had the paper.
Oh,
I'll
if
do
you
it.
only
It's okay.
had the paper.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Got it.
Go.
I was talking to my friend and she told me someone else's boyfriend was texting her inappropriate stuff. She told me not to tell the girl, but I kind of think the girl deserves to know if her boyfriend is saying that kind of stuff to other girls. I was just wondering what you guys think I should do. Okay, 2 words for you. Girl code. Yes, do it. Tell him. That's my answer.
I think we all agree on that.
Jennifer.
I mean, I would totally tell the girl, if you were in that person's shoes, wouldn't you want somebody to tell you? Like, I don't know. I feel like if you have that type of information, just let her know. Like, that's not okay.
But
Wait.
maybe it's not necessary. Like, maybe you should encourage your friend to tell the girl, because like if you're kind of like a third party and you don't have the text and like you don't have that,
no,
like
true.
it might just get a little bit awkward and weird, and the girl might not understand.
Yeah, I was
You know
like
what I mean?
looking at this, like, how
yeah,
many.
like say to your
how many
friend
people-
who's getting the text, like you should really talk to that girl, and then you can be like, hey, listen, like this is the situation, and like these are the texts I'm getting, and they're not warranted, and
Yeah,
you
like it's
should
like how
figure
many
it out.
people removed is she from the situation? Because you don't want to be that person that's always going, guess what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
not a
talking-
good person to be.
One person. Okay.
Tell your friend to tell the girl, because like Jennifer said, you wouldn't want to be in that position. If my boyfriend was sending bad stuff to another girl, end of relationship, done. And I wouldn't want to be the dumb girl that's just sitting around seeing it happen, because if you know, I'm pretty sure other people are going to know, and then that girl is going to get embarrassed, but you could have saved that girl embarrassment. So again, back to girl code. Don't let another girl go down. Like, come on, save her.
Also, if you know someone that's getting inappropriate stuff from someone else's boyfriend, that girl needs to tell him to stop.
True.
That's her friend, though.
Yeah.
Well, it says like her friend said that someone else's boy, like it's her friend getting these
Yeah.
messages.
Her friend
so,
needs to say to this
like-
guy, what? Who do you think I am, Jennifer?
Right? And you can also block them,
Yeah.
their numbers, social media. Just remove yourself from that situation.
Yeah, because the person that he's dating is eventually going to find out that he's pretty not trustworthy boyfriend material. And you don't always have to be the messenger of like horrific news. You can just say it's not happening on my watch to me or to us, and not be a party to this kind of stuff. Ben.
I actually had because I have some like strong friendships with people who are girls, and my friend was dating this guy who was kind of strange and kind of weird anyway, and she told me she was getting inappropriate Snapchats from him, and I told her to say something, but she thought she'd ruin the friendship. I just think it must be a hard situation to be in, and especially if you don't know the person who is dating, the boyfriend or the girlfriend. I think you have to make sure that no matter what gets in the way with it, you do the right thing. And in my opinion, I think you should tell the person who is in a relationship with the person who's texting you, because no matter what happens, if someone is in a relationship, they shouldn't be going around sending messages, whether that's, oh, it's just lighthearted, it's just a joke, or it was, send me messages. Like, it's not appropriate.
If you tell the girlfriend, though, she may not believe you, and that could start a whole other wave of drama. And then the boyfriend would deny it. And so I don't know how caught up we should be in a third, like how, if it's a relationship that we're like third person removed from.
Yeah, I actually want to say something on the like what you said. So that similar situation happened to me, but like reverse the gender roles.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone did tell me things, and then because I brought it up preemptively without having any like stuff, the person actually covered their tracks, and I actually stayed in that relationship longer than I would have if I had found out like more directly, because that person had been then now like was alerted to, like, knew something was probably up, so that they went more underground. And so I am actually with you a little bit, like if you're like if you're going to talk to that person, also know that if you're going to need something more for that person to believe them, because they're going to trust and want to believe that that's not happening.
Right, because
So-
I mean, I get girl code, like you let someone know, but girls who are in love can be like blinders on.
Even guys can like
Tell your friend to tell that girl. You don't do it. Tell the friend to tell that girl. And then
Okay.
as long as you tell the friend to do the
Yeah.
right thing, as long like
Yeah.
you've known that you've done the right thing. But yeah, don't go straight to the girl. Tell the friend that you know to tell her. And it's
Yeah, Jen.
And if your friend is not up for the challenge, just do it. Just do it. Because I know, like, some people, they'll have information, but they're too scared or they just don't care enough to tell the person. So if you're in that type of situation, just do it.
Right, and as long as you're not after the boy,
Yeah.
because that's the wrong reason to tell someone that somebody's behaving badly. It's like you're trying to, sabotage your relationship.
I will say this: if you're just gonna like do it like Jennifer said, I would definitely. I mean, your friend might not like it, but bring up your friend's name, because then the more information you can give, the better result there's going to be. Because if like the person who ended up saying something to me, they knew more, but they were holding back names and people to like try to get me from not like trying not to hurt other people or trying to bring other people into the situation when they already like they opened up a can of worms but only gave me the lid. Like
Oh, wow.
so it was more of like if you're gonna say something, also bring your friend into it, whether your friend wanted to be the one to say something in the first place or not.
Well, should you screen cap it so that she can see this is a message from him? And
for sure.
Well, if you can get a hold of your friend's phone and like
But
send
I
it
do
to
have
you,
a
like, that's-
question for you. When the relationship ended, did it make you regretful that you'd been with that person so long after they'd send you messages, or were you happy, or did it not bother you after it ended? Would you prefer to it ended when they were being unfaithful to you, sending messages to other people, or are you happy it lasted longer?
Whoa.
Okay, well, I mean, I definitely wouldn't take anything back now. Like, I mean, it developed over time and made me in that relationship to who I became, and I learned things and I was able to grow from it. However, if I had known beforehand, if I had concrete proof to begin with, I would have ended it then. But I also wouldn't have gone through what I had gone through since that period of. I did go a little like psycho crazy girlfriend, even though I'm a guy. Like I was like showing up people's houses. It was kind of creepy. But so I went crazy for a little bit. But otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't take it back. I would definitely say that it wasn't necessarily healthy that I stayed there though, because then from that point forward, it was really constant self-doubt and constant like wondering and questioning and getting all up in my head. Like earlier what I said, what happened versus what you're making it mean, because then I started turning it inward on myself, like trying to figure out why this was happening, why they're denying it, why they're lying, and then they would even try to cover it up and further lie about it with really crazy like storylines and plot lines. So it turned into a really nasty situation. However, because of that, I'm able to have a healthy relationship now, so I wouldn't take it back.
Okay.
good question and great answer. I'm going to read the IUD question just because it's from Jessica Loves Her Besties. And I was going to have a boy read this, but no, I won't do that. I love you guys. I am getting an IUD. This is a form of birth control that it's like an intrauterine device. Yeah. This is a form of birth control that lasts for 5 years and has a 99% efficiency. I think that meant effectiveness, but it's also very efficient. It's $500, but then we don't have to buy condoms. You probably should still buy condoms because an IUD doesn't protect you from sexually transmitted diseases. Is it reasonable to ask for some money from my partner to buy it?
I mean, you're not really saving that much money by getting a $500 IUD and then not getting condoms. I'm just saying, like, I have the implant. And, I mean, I feel like, do you not have insurance? So maybe you... Okay, never mind. Tara, go.
My only thing is, if you want to get the IUD and not buy condoms, okay, that's your decision. But you're asking, is it reasonable to ask for some money from your partner to buy it? If you and your partner have been together for a while and you guys are serious, I don't see why not. You bring it up and in discussion and say, look, we're the ones having sex. We're not having sex with anybody else. It's us two. We're the ones doing it. So since it's together, not getting me pregnant, you're not going to get me pregnant. Can we somehow come to an agreement? I think that is okay to ask if you're very serious about your relationship. That was your question? That is my answer.
For sure. Unless you're still in high school and you're on your parents' insurance and you're trying to go behind their back. Mm-hmm. And getting that, then obviously not. But we don't know that situation. I agree with Tara completely. If you guys are in a serious relationship and that's what you want to do, you have full right to ask him for some money to pay for that. But if you are underage, you're still living in your parents' house, and you're on their insurance, and you don't want to ask them to get it because with insurance it'd be cheaper, then no.
Jabbar.
And from a guy's perspective, I will absolutely go half on you with this because one. If you guys are having sex, I don't want a baby, and I'm clearly you don't either. So I'm going half on you with this one.
For sure.
We would need to get you over to a microphone, so work on making that happen. And I'll say that sex happens between two people, and just because only the female can get pregnant, both of you are responsible for health control and birth control. So I would say naturally he should pay for half of it. He's having half of the sex.
Totally.
Well, I just want to stress that don't think of getting IUD in terms of not buying condom ever, because you never know. Sometimes I've gotten IUD before and it just vanished itself. I guess my body systematically just pushed it out at some point. I didn't know.
It's a magic trick.
Yeah, it's a magic trick. It's like sometimes when you make a piercing in your belly, and sometimes it pushes out, doesn't really accept it.
Yeah, your body's probably always trying to get rid of foreign objects like a sliver. Or
and I also don't know how old you are. If you're really young, maybe you consider if getting IUD is healthy for your growing. It's just
if you guys are in a committed relationship where neither one of you is seeing other people and both of you are sure that the other person doesn't have any sexual transmitted diseases, then yes, if you don't need condoms. Married people that know that they're committed to each other don't use condoms anymore, and IUDs, that's an effective form of birth control. So obviously he should pay for half of it. But if you're not sure that you would only be having sex with him, then he shouldn't be paying for you to have sex with other people.
I really wish we knew how old you are, because I feel like if you are younger, you might take the advice and still ask for the person just because, like, oh, well, they said that it was okay. But at the same, like, if we knew how old you are, we'd give you way better concrete advice, because it's either one way or the other kind of a thing. You can't, like, mix these two together depending on how old you are.
I may be wrong, but Jessica Loves Her Besties writes in a lot, and I believe she's 16.
So if you're only 16, should you be getting it?
I bet the guy that you're with is not going to. He's not going to pay.
Yeah, because she writes
200 plus or something. I don't know what's half of.
Yeah, if she's only 16, then he doesn't have $250 for an IUD. Like he might have lunch money.
My dear, you have so much more time to try IUD in the future.
And honestly, like, if you really want to have sex, like, talk to your mom. Seriously, like, the moment I talked to my mom and we had a conversation about it, and I was in I mean, it's so stupid to say a serious relationship, but for, being in high school, I was, like, in a serious relationship. I talked to my mom, we talked it out, and I have an implant instead of an IUD or birth control pills, because pills were just not my thing. So I have the implant, but it was on my insurance, so it was only, like, $8.25 because I had insurance. You know what I mean? So if you're I mean, I don't like. You shouldn't just get birth control so that you can be like, oh yeah, now I can have sex. That's not the reason. Like, I wanted to have this kind of birth control so I don't have a period because I didn't have time to worry about like bringing tampons to school every day. That's just I want to be able to wear white pants and not worried about it. That's why, you know what I mean. But I also had a boyfriend, so you just like need to talk to your mom. So if you are young, like. Yeah, because that $500, he's not going to pay $250. He's not.
If you
There's
guys
no way.
are adults, it's a different conversation.
Completely
But if
different.
you're still a child, I feel like you keeping yourself safe from STDs and from pregnancy
So
is
important.
kind of your own responsibility. Even though boys are,
That stuff stays
having
with you
the sex with you
forever.
But like what Katie Michael is saying, like have a conversation with your mom, because any sexually active teenager, and I do recommend that you wait until you're 18 before you become sexually active, but any sexually active teenager should be visiting a gynecologist so that together you can go over all of your options to keep you safe. And insurance does pay for birth control, because you know what is less expensive than birth control or what is more expensive than birth control? Babies. So,
Surprise.
yeah.
What?
And so insurance companies are businesses, and pregnancy is a whole lot expensive. So,
Can I just say something that's not that relevant? I once had somebody said a quote that it's so funny. What's the worst kind of STD? Babies.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so much cuter than the others.
They stay with you like forever. They're there forever.
Stay with you forever.
I mean, so do STDs though. So either one's kind of bad.
All right. So, with all of that knowledge to grow on, thank you for being with us. Thank you for our panel. Thank you for our wonderful cast members. We will see you next week. We are Journals Out Loud on the Journals Network. Please rate us on iTunes or whatever podcasting mechanism has brought you to us. We love you, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.